Welcome to the Save Par Golf Podcast, where two average golfers talk about golf and things. I'm your host, Eric.
I'm your host, Dominic.
We are currently on episode 33, and we have a special guest on today. We have Jordan with ODIN Golf. Make sure to give them a follow on Instagram. Their handle is at ODIN, ODIN.golf, GOLF. Jordan, thanks for hopping on the podcast. We appreciate you taking the time. And
welcome back.
Yeah, round number 2.
Yeah, round 2. Here we go. Thanks for having me back and excited to jam here.
A little bit earlier for you this time too, not whatever time it was.
Yeah, I think it was like a 1 a.m. deal. Had a couple pops and then just to keep me going.
You're a trooper. So yeah, for just so if the listeners they know, Jordan, you're out in Germany, correct?
Yeah. So we have 2 HQs. We have Berlin, Germany, where I'm at. Lived here 10 years. It's quite an epic city. We like to say grungy but sexy with a hint of Depeche Mode on every corner. So yeah, that it's a real hoot out here. And then HQ number 2 is in California. So we kind of parachute back and forth. We're predominantly focused on the US market, but yeah, we happen to be sitting here part of the time.
So our headquarters here are in Minneapolis right now. What's your temperature been like in Germany?
So I think it's been similar to you guys. I know we were talking about, Dom, we were always sharing picks and living vicariously through all the Arizona, California golfers, Texas. It's in Fahrenheit, I think, similar to you guys, to 20 to 30. Now it's getting a little bit better. We're getting some sun, much needed vitamin D. It's been a deep, dark bunker the past month. Not a lot of snow. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown of the temp. And I know for you guys, I mean, when's the last time you were out on the track?
It's been a while. We got kind of a tease last week. We had a 58-degree day on Saturday and 60 Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and then it snowed.
Then it snowed.
And then it snowed some more. And then it melted. And then it snowed a little bit more.
And now it's just super windy and cold.
Yeah, it's been really windy the last couple of days.
So we're at like 30 degrees. The sun is out though, which helps a lot, obviously. But no,
Yeah.
It's been since.
Yeah, it hasn't been bad. I mean, it's hard to say it's bad when it's not 10 below.
Right. We've been able to play out on the simulator or in the simulators, which is nice, at least get the swings. But yeah, it's been quite a long time since we've actually been outside hitting the ball.
Yeah, I feel you. So do the courses, do they have winter greens, and do some people brave the elements, or is it just completely shut down?
They're still shut down, but I got an email, I'm sure you did too, a couple days ago, right when we had that like 3-day stretch of like warmer weather. They opened up the range at several other golf courses. What? So the ranges are open.
I didn't get that email.
There's like 3 or 4 courses, and they were essentially now waiting for the snow is gone, but the grass is still pretty wet and the ground is wet.
Ground's still pretty frozen too in some areas.
So they had the range open, but I haven't seen anything being open as far as playing a round of golf yet. So,
well, you guys got to start warming up because you got a couple big events. You have the big golf trip in June, and then you have the big Save Par tourney in June too, right? I
would say the tournament's probably bigger.
Yeah,
it's a bigger deal.
I think the tournament is a bigger deal, but the 4-man little scramble deal that we have afterwards is just kind of an extra top of the cake just to have a good time. We
kind of
worry about the tournament. Exactly. Yeah. So we are hosting our first annual Save Par Golf tournament June 11th at Bull Rush Golf Club, and there's a lot of cool prizes. I know you guys are a part of it, so we really appreciate it. But we have a cool partnership with 3 Jack, which we've kind of talked about before, but they are a really cool bar restaurant that also has simulators, the course, or at their establishment. And we are doing a charter bus, a 55-person charter bus that will meet there the morning before the shotgun start at 10 a.m., grab a drink or whatever you want, and then they'll take you to the course and they'll bring you back. So that's kind of the first 50 people that sign up have that opportunity to kind of be a part of it. And you can still go to 3 Jack before in the morning. You're just not going to be able to get on the bus if you don't book it in time. So you're still more than welcome to get down there. And then we might even have a little bit of an after party there too. So there's a lot going on. It's kind of, I've told Don this before, and it's almost like planning a wedding. You don't realize how much that goes into it.
Oh man.
But we're super stoked. Dom and I we've worked our tails off. We're making,
there's a lot of little things that nobody, there's a lot of little things that nobody warns you about, whether it's us trying to find like bags or, just these little ideas that always pop into our heads, or even like those flags that we're talking about right now.
Flags.
Like all these little things.
But I mean, a lot of what we do is 99.9% of it is not glamorous by any means. 60% of the time we're staring at an Excel spreadsheet, calling, hitting the pavement, figuring out, like you said, what color should the goodie bags be, the tissue paper, going to Party City. It's incredible and quite comical in many ways, but this is why we get up in the morning, right?
Absolutely. I've realized how important a calendar is too. And using a spreadsheet, like there's so many factors. You're like, oh, yep, I forgot about that. So it's nice to keep track of that. And I think it's definitely going to pave the way for us doing it more in the future, because we really do want to have my ultimate goal is to have 2 tournaments a year, one here in Minnesota, whether it be at a different course or the same course, and then have one somewhere in the warmer time. We talked about, we're watching people play in Arizona, California. So we really want to have a place out there, or even maybe in Florida, in the colder months here. So we're still able to get out, have a good time. And so that's kind of our goal down the road. So I think this is really going to give us an idea of how it's going to work out. I feel like it's going to go really successful, but we'll have a better idea once it's kind of, finished up.
Yeah. And then doing it at other places would kind of help us meet brands that can't make it to Minnesota, because I get it. Minnesota's not a golf destination by any means, but we have some beautiful courses and some beautiful places to play golf. So stuff like that would be kind of cool to meet people, or even fans that like live in Florida, live in California, Arizona, stuff like that, just to connect with more people, more brands.
Absolutely. I think that Arizona, California, Vegas, Florida are kind of those big golf destinations, whether it's spring, fall, winter months there, because it's obviously that you're not really playing too much golf in the summer, unless it's, at least in Arizona, it's about 123 degrees. So you're playing really early. So
right.
But no, we're super excited. I don't mean to turn the tides here, but we're actually, we really want to kind of get to know and talk to you about the Future of Golf project. We're super excited to be a part of it. And I'm just wondering if you're willing to just kind of give us the rundown kind of from how it's taken off and how it works, and give our listeners a little bit of insight.
Yeah, I'll share. I know we did round 1 and shared a bit of the founding story. I'll kind of condense it again, just to give people the insight of what's happening here at ODIN HQ. So there's 4 of us founders based in Berlin. The company's mainly focused on the U.S. market, which is obviously the biggest golf market in the world. And so we're obviously golf nuts through and through. Our backgrounds, we built and scaled tech companies in the US and Europe, in the UK, et cetera. So about a year ago, we're still relatively new as a company. About a year ago, the 4 of us were on the course, and we're decent golfers. We're not amazing. We're not sticks. We're out there to have fun. The 4 of us were out on the course, and as we like to say, we were donating to the lake, to the woods, just not having a great day. And we looked at each other and we said, well, why aren't we losing our own golf balls? Why are we losing golf balls of brands that are old, they're stuffy, the incumbent brands that we grew up with that don't really speak to us as kind of the next generation of golfers, and then specifically digital natives. So that was kind of the seed crystal, the idea for ODIN. And there were a couple of things that we wanted to do before starting the company, looking at the market that's incredibly crowded. There's no shortage of consumer places to go to get anything related to golf. Yep. So we looked at it and we said, for us, the ambitions for this is to take ODIN to golfers around the globe. So that's kind of the North Star that we have, given our backgrounds of building and scaling companies. And the second thing we said is, we want this to be a come one, come all golf company. No matter the background, the handicap, we want this to be a destination for you, the everyday golfer. So essentially what the old incumbent stuffy brands did for the PGA Tour, we want to do for the everyday golfer. That's kind of the end game and vision for that, is, given our tech backgrounds, is having a tech platform for the everyday golfer. So it's not only a place to have your course essentials, the balls, the gear, the gadgets, the accessories, etc., but it's also a place where you can kind of come into the ODIN platform. We give you digital Lego blocks to gamify your course experience, build and grow your golf leagues, spin out a skins game if you want. And we'll get into the kind of the Web3 crypto NFT area. We're going to have an ODIN currency so that you can monetize your ODIN experiences and use that currency to kind of share and pay for things and sell things on the platform. So that was the second thing. The third thing was, we are a grassroots community through and through. So we said, before we do any sort of tech app, VR headset, whatever the form factor is, a web app, we want to meet the everyday golfer where they're at the local watering holes, at the courses. So we basically started with our ODIN social club events, meetups, et cetera. And now we've kind of grown to thousands of golfers. And we started about a year ago. We launched in the summer. We also launched our balls and gear last summer, which quickly sold out and was kind of exceeded our expectations in a lot of ways. So that was kind of cool. The final thing that we wanted to do is we said, look, given that we're building value for the everyday golfer, we actually want everyday golfers to own a piece of ODIN, like actually have a piece of stock in the business. And the US specifically, I think they're getting better now, but they have a lot of accreditation laws around having a certain amount of net worth, and there's a lot of red tape around it. Understandably so, because companies often don't pan out. It's very risky. It's not a public company on the stock market, like investing in Apple or Airbnb or Microsoft. Very, very early stage. So we kind of parked that idea, and we didn't want to do crowdfunding because I think that has a stigma and it's just wasn't our jam or vibe. So fast forward to a month and a half ago, we stumbled upon the NFT, the world of Web3 and crypto, and the NFT is a vehicle. And we looked at it and we said, actually, this is an incredibly compelling way to engage our community on a whole nother level that really hasn't been seen before. And for us, it was a way for our community to have a stake in the brand equity. So not a piece of the company itself, it's the brand itself, it's the brand equity. So the analogy we always use is, it's Phil Knight in the 70s going to his community and saying, hey, I have Steve Bowerman running for us. We're very early. We have incredible ambitions here. Here's your chance. We're going to do a digital collectible in the form of an NFT so that you can grow with the brand, not only get value out of it, but also grow as the brand grows. The other analogy is the rookie card, right? The Roberto Clemente, Sammy Sosa rookie card before they hit it big.
I like the comparisons.
Yeah. So I think so that's basically how we stumbled upon NFT. We can get into the project and the endeavor. But what you just mentioned is the kind of the quintessence in a lot of ways for this. Yes, crypto and NFTs and Web3 are somewhat mainstream now in a sense. NBA is doing it with their Top Shop, PGA Tour is doing it. PayPal, all these very JP Morgan, all these reputable companies are investing in Bitcoin and crypto, et cetera. So it's not a matter of, is this real or not? That's been shattered a million times over. But it's still incredibly daunting. And there's some skepticism that we're finding, especially in the golf community through this. So we kind of want to be a pioneer here, but also educate people. And maybe you guys can share experiences too with how to set up a digital wallet first and foremost, how to just break that ice. And then what is an NFT? What does it mean? as a digital collectible, what's the value in it? And then how do I buy them, secondly? So I think for us, we said, look, we want to, the NFT I think is interesting. It's more, we want to lead with the value. Like the NFT is just a vehicle. It could be a pink slip of a car, it could be a tree, whatever the vehicle is, right? It's more of leading with value. And then that's kind of the way to kind of get people into the mix. So, and then the other thing we want to do is really educate, especially the golf community, like, hey, this can be daunting, but it's actually incredibly exciting. This is the future of digital consumption, not only in general, but also golf specifically, and kind of our vision and for ODIN, and most importantly for the everyday golfer.
I think this is probably you're the first brand or company that's actually done this in the golf industry, correct? Because I've seen some, there's other companies that are trying to provide for building a golf course, so to speak, and things like that. But this is the first time I've actually seen something where you're actually, like you said earlier, like not necessarily owning a piece of the company necessarily, but it's more of like you're owning a piece of the brand, you're growing with the brand. I think it's a brilliant idea, but I, like you said, I think this is kind of the future of golf. Like this is kind of where it's going to go. And I love that we're a part of something, right from the ground up. And I think it's awesome. I think the other thing is that NFTs are, we've mentioned this before, but there's so many questions behind what an NFT is, how to even get an NFT or buy an NFT. I feel like that's kind of the biggest holdback for some of the people that I know. They're like, well, what am I even buying? It's a picture. You're buying more than an NFT. Like you said, this is just kind of the vehicle, so to speak, but there's so much to it. And I think that's the reason why we're really proud and honored to be a part of the project. And so I think that's the hardest part, is breaking that barrier of understanding what an NFT is, how it works, and what am I investing in? Am I just buying this NFT piece of art, or am I going to be able to help this brand grow in the future? And as it grows, we can grow with the brand. So that's kind of the reason why I think it's so cool. And there's so many options and ways to grow.
That's kind of what drew me to it. And, I don't know a whole lot about crypto or NFTs. I know we've had kind of a few episodes about it where it's all kind of over my head and I end up going home with a headache. Even now, I mean, I don't really understand it, but I like knowing that my ownership of one isn't just like, hey, I own this neat little picture or this guy that moves, right? It's a part of like a bigger picture in a sense, right? To me, that makes more sense versus just, hey, buy my picture for $500 and congrats, you own it, you could sell it, whatever. I think what you're doing is, bigger than, hey, buy this. It's, hey, you could own a part of ODIN. You can be involved in our decisions to some extent. And obviously we were down because we really like you guys. We kind of believe in what you're doing. The whole motto, go balls out. It's a game for everybody, so it should be for everybody.
Well said.
I can speak sometimes, right?
I let him take the mic. You just take the mic and run, dude.
We just got our new spokesperson over here.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, if you need ambassadors,
sign them up.
We're down. But yeah, I don't know. For me, not knowing what NFT was, this was like a great way for me to kind of enter that world and not be kind of like ripped off in a sense. Because, like you're saying, a lot of reputable brands are now kind of backing all these different crypto things, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, then there's like another kind, I don't know. There's all sorts of them, all new ones popping up, but it's starting to become more and more popular. But I think in the sense of how you guys are doing it is genius.
Yeah. And again, it's just a matter of time that everyone's going to have an NFT, whether you kind of like it or not at some point. You know what I mean? It's just like, that is kind of in cryptocurrency. And I think the cryptocurrency, for example, like Dogecoin and all these, I got into Dogecoin, and but it's one of those things that it's a meme coin versus like you're owning a meme coin and hoping just a stock. You're hoping exactly. And so there's so many question marks, I think, and so many people are just kind of nervous of like, I don't want to put my money into this if I don't really know what I'm getting out of it. I could lose it all, where this is something totally different. And I think this is why I think NFTs and crypto can be very beneficial because of stuff like this. This is what an NFT and crypto should be all about, in my opinion.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. And first off, we're excited to have you guys as launch partners here. And we made you two custom NFTs from our ODIN characters. We have a female character, a male character. People can check out the collection futureofgolf.co. We basically, like I said, for us, we want to give value to the community and folks like yourselves who are incredibly helpful and supportive and building something really incredibly awesome for the golf community through Save Par and the pod here. So that was a way for us to kind of get you. And then most importantly, like you said, Dom, this is where things are headed. We want to make it easy for you to get into it and start to learn and understand it, because it's really the classic technology adopter curve. You have the early adopters, and then you have the bell, and then there's the laggards. Yep. So it's like, I may not buy iPhone 1, but I may get into iPhone 3. The camera's better. It's got some cool apps. All my friends are doing it, and it's so ubiquitous that you can fill in a million examples like that. So that's essentially what's happening here. The other side of this that you guys mentioned, that it comes with new technology, and you saw this a couple of years ago with the ICOs, the initial coin offerings. You guys may have been familiar with that, where people would put out a coin and hope to strike gold in a lot of ways.
Is that like the Dogecoin stuff?
Yeah, I didn't get too much into that, but I guess with a really new technology with a lot of value, there's also nefarious actors attached to it. And I think you do see that candidly in NFT projects where it's maybe an interesting idea. You also may not know who's behind it. It may be just a bunch of avatars on a website that was thrown together, and you really don't know. So for us, we said, look, we're a real business. We have real products. We're growing. We're generating revenue. We're real people. If you look at our site, we have our pictures, our bios. We have our emails. Like, you can email us if you want to jam or shoot the shit or learn more. We're here for you. And then we're open and candid and transparent about what we're doing. This is the vision. Here's our white paper, and here's our products and the reviews and all that. So we said, we want to lay this out for people. Like, this is what we're doing. Here's why we're excited. So it's like what you said, Dom, it's the story. Like, what's the big picture here? And I think a lot of the golf projects, which you could argue are quite interesting. Before we got into this, we said, look, those, buying a golf course, for example, it is interesting and exciting in its own way. And I mean, owning a course is a headache in a million ways that we could get into, but I think we did a lot of, talking just with people about this and like we would build software, like where's the value? Who are we building for? What are we solving really? What's the core thing we're solving for? What itch are we scratching? And I think that was the kind of the quintessence of what we were hearing is like, this sounds interesting, but I don't know what's here. Is this attainable? The other example that we looked at very closely was the U.S. Constitution DAO, the decentralized organization that pulled money together to buy the U.S. Constitution, that ended up not panning out. And we spoke to someone who had like a kind of a legal angle, accounting angle, because we wanted to make sure we checked that off too, learn as much as we could before we did it. And he said, they're having issues now around giving people the money back because they didn't get the Constitution. So it's I think in some ways it's a gray area, but we always err on the side of openness, candidness, transparency. We may not have all the answers. Not everyone has the answers. And Dapper Labs, who does the NBA Top Shot, like, they don't have all the answers. They're building, and they're a pioneer in their own way. So that, I think when you err on the side of that, the candidness, the transparency of it all, then I think you know things will figure out as you go, because like I said, we're building for the community. This is a way for the community to get involved. So why not just go straight to the source with the value? Don't do the scenic route, right?
Sure. So can you kind of give us just a little bit about, so you kind of mentioned the website, and you also talked about the kind of the walkthrough, and we both did it on, you sent us the link, and you basically painted a picture. Really, it was really simple to operate, because again, that whole, I think half the battle is figuring out how the heck to buy a NFT.
Yeah.
So,
like what the hell's a wallet? I'm like, I got one. And then
in my back pocket.
Yeah. I mean, I like that, like on the website, you guys have all these informational videos, how to buy it, how to set up a wallet, how to link the wallet to the account, which is sometimes a pain.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone lay in it. It was just really simple, really easy, because it is a little bit overwhelming at first when you're not too familiar with how it works. So kudos to you guys on that. And so if somebody wants to partake in this, there's how many NFTs are there available that would be a part of this founding member NFT project?
Yeah, so we're as the term goes, dropping, launching, releasing 150 founding member NFTs, and we wanted to start small. And given kind of our ethos and how we build things, we wanted to do it in kind of an intentional way and not put out 10,000 and kind of do a big bang. We wanted to kind of methodically get the community involved, hand holding, starting small. And with that, we actually had so much interest, we may do a second drop, but we're very focused on, brick by brick. Again, it goes back to the early days of, rather than like what a lot of other places have done, lead with the tech or the app or whatever. It's lead with kind of a brick by brick approach, which for us, we had to come to grips with, candidly, because it takes a little bit longer than releasing a piece of software and you have instant scale, or that's the goal at least. So for us, is kind of in that way is, test the community, get it out there, start to evangelize, educate. And being a pioneer, it's also on the other side, it's 100 times harder because of the education piece. So there's not, a fully proven model here in a lot of ways where you just plug in and you're the nth one to do it. So, and the other thing is there are limitations with kind of the technology out there. So we've launched on OpenSea, which is the NFT de facto now marketplace for buying and selling NFTs. And Dom, I think we were talking about it. They have a limitation with their mobile app where you can't actually buy one, but you can browse, and then you need to connect the digital wallet to it. So you could just tell that, yes, they are mainstream in their own way, but there's still like a lot of work to do there on kind of the mobile desktop experience parity they have going on there.
Yeah, I think because I was trying to buy a few on my phone, and you can only do it through the web browser on OpenSea. You can't actually buy the app. But
yeah, on my phone you can click on it and then you can tap view on OpenSea, and then you just do it that way.
Okay.
But then when you're doing it on your mobile, it's hard to connect your wallet and stuff.
Apologize for the cough. That's
the dying dog.
It's the kennel cough. No, she's good. She's on the mend. Yeah, she's not dying. Don't say that. She's not a 2 yet. So I apologize for that. But she's getting better. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt with the kennel cough. It's okay. But no, yeah, I think I was looking at all the other different characters too, and you guys did a heck of a job.
Yeah, can you talk about a few notable characters? Like there's a Happy Gilmore character. Is there one where it's Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction? Is that one?
That's it. Yeah. We did Happy. Yeah. The beard. Yeah, the beard is very distinct, and the tuxedo as well.
Is the hair for me?
Yeah, the hair. Yeah, the hair's a dead giveaway. And we put the afro on the bird too.
I noticed.
Jesse, the illustrator we work with, big shout out to him. He did an awesome job. And for us, we wanted to have a huge variety. We wanted to do like the Star Wars one and maybe some sports teams and such, but we kind of parked those. We have the Dude, which Dom, your friend Dan, Big Dan bought. So we were excited that he's about the Dude. That's super cool. We have a Noonan one that we did, Danny Noonan from Caddyshack. And then obviously you guys as the centerpieces with the mics. The pod extraordinaires. So we tried to make it kind of also like the character compelling, like it was something, again, everything was intentional before we launched it. And we thought they came out really awesome. And also we wanted to be inclusive with it. Like, I think the other thing is we're finding, like I was talking with Amber from Four Gals yesterday, big shout out to Four Gals in California.
Just read my mind. I was just literally going to bring them up because they talked.
I don't know what episode she was on.
Couple ago.
30, I think.
30, yeah.
30, yeah. Definitely listen to that one. Yeah, really, really great. They're growing like crazy, and we're excited to help and support them. And she was saying, and this is something that we saw, that it's a very kind of dude heavy world, unfortunately. So we kind of want to help evangelize and get more backgrounds and demographics into it. But it's so I think that's what we're excited about. We wanted to build those into the characters themselves and show that like this is come one, come all. Like we want to live and breathe this. Is kind of one of the core tenets of the founding member NFTs that we did.
So what's the story with the birds on everybody? Is that like a Odin thing, or is that just kind of like, hey, let's give everybody a bird? Because I thought it'd be cool to like incorporate Derek and our dogs. Would have been kind of fun.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I
didn't want to like push ours to be super different from everybody's though, because I'm like, God, if I could get my like Simone involved, that'd be sweet.
Your dogs just chilling.
Have a little.
That would be pretty epic. Yeah. So there's something I think really exciting in there. Regarding the characters, we like anything that's being designed, and whether it's the golf ball box that we did or a hat or a hoodie or whatever, we grappled with. So Odin, apropos of the name of the company, is the Nordic god of wisdom. We have 2 Germans who are on the team and 1 Brit. So we said, let's pay homage to the European motherland and to the Nordic god of wisdom, Odin. So that's where the name comes from. And Odin and kind of pop culture, Marvel, and just generally has, the beard and the shield and the robe, and there's a bird. So we wanted to model it after that. The other thing we wanted to do is we internally grappled with this, like, what are a couple things that through all the different characters, they have the same kind of look and feel. If there's a couple characteristics, like you'll notice it's the bird, it's the golf club, and it's the gold band on the arm. And some of them have helmets. So so to answer your question, we ended up deciding on keeping the bird consistent through all of them, the golf club, and then the gold band. We were going to do the helmet, but we said, we want to do some different types of hats, the bucket hat, the visor, et cetera, no hat. So that's how we kind of decided on the bird. And for some of them, we wanted to do stuff with the bird, like the caddy or the afro or the that sort of thing. So
just got to add a little flair to the podcast episode.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all.
Good.
She's pissed off. She's mad because now Dom got talking about dogs being on the NFT, and
I can't help that my dog.
Oh man,
didn't make the cut.
I just can't help that my dog is better. She's quiet, does not cough all over.
Yeah. She's also very attached to my wife, so she's gone. So I think that also adds an extra little piece to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally. I thought it was the FOMO of the NFT art, but that also worked.
We're both looking at them right now, and I think she got to look at it, and that's I think what it is, the FOMO.
Yeah, there you go. I was just thinking, I'm looking at your backdrop here. I think some like golf memorabilia, even like your clubs in the background. I know you're going to do the State Par banner. That would be super cool. That
would be really cool. Yeah, I love what you guys did. These are fantastic. I love Dom's with this beard and his hair. It's awesome. It just really.
I look like a god.
Straight up. Yeah.
No, I think they all look great. They all have their own personality. It's fun because I'll look at them and try to figure out the characters. I know my buddy who bought one pointed out the Danny Noonan. I have no idea which one that is. Like, to be honest, I have no idea.
That one is,
and I feel bad.
Yeah, we've only put out 65 out of the 150. I think Noonan will come.
Okay, so I'm not going crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, probably. We had Noonan in some of the, like, on the site and some of the samples. That's probably where Big Dan saw it. So, and the other thing, which you mentioned, which is super exciting, we're actually getting this a lot now, is how do I customize it? Like, is this an app? Is this through you guys? Like, how do I make these NFTs?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah.
I noticed that on Discord, people keep asking you how to get involved, make their own.
Yeah, it's something we get messaged a lot now, which is super cool. So and this gets into kind of the bigger picture of the platform that we want to build, is a way to do things like that, to actually mint your own NFTs. And so the example of this is customizing a character. The other thing we want to do is, imagine you're on the course, you make a hole in one, or you hit a long birdie putt. You can we want people to be able to mint their own ODIN experiences into an NFT through the platform. And then imagine on Save Par on the profile, you can see that NFT that you guys post, like, hey, I just made a hole in one and I minted this. So it's essentially what the NBA is doing with replays and the PGA Tour, dunks, 3-pointers, wild plays. Nice. Yeah, so that's essentially what we want to be able to do for the everyday golfer, is like, hey, actually, we want to give you the ability to monetize your on-course experience. So that's kind of one use. There's a many multitude of use cases. That's the one use case that I think is really compelling that we want to do, that kind of allows, and that's another thing, allows people to delve into this world. Like, hey, I want to do this. Like, how do I get started? And I was talking with Amber about this. Like, how do we do 4Gals NFTs, or a couple other leagues that we talk with said the same thing. So it just shows like this is where the world's going, and there's piqued interest, but we have to get over the hurdle of the skepticism and the education of it all.
And that would be using the ODIN coin, correct? How you would kind of mint your own or monetize your experiences. I know you kind of briefly talked about that earlier.
Yeah, so that would tie in. We want to do an ODIN currency that you could use everything from betting on the course to gamifying the experience. So let's say you're with the two of you are out playing and you said, hey, we want to set a game of 2 long drives and 2 closest to the pins, and I'm gonna throw up 10 ODIN coins for each one. And you guys can kind of share and win those things internally, and then use that for buying ODIN golf balls on the platform, or sending it to your other friends using for betting. So like, there's a tons of use cases that we want to do there. This is kind of part of the roadmap, and we highlighted on the site in the white paper. So it's we're super excited. Obviously, for us, we're starting with the course essential piece of the platform. We have golf balls for every player type. Basically what you get with all the old brands, but as we like to say, without denting the wallet. And so we felt like this was the first place to start. This is what we want to give, and then kind of, build on top of it.
So I know we talked about like our tournament that's coming up here in June, but on your website, it says access to exclusive ODIN events. Is that something too that, down the road, you're also looking at like, you're going to be able to, like, if you hold an NFT, I know that there's some things already out there, not even just in golf, but like if you hold this NFT, you have exclusive opportunity to get tickets to, or you can be able to go to this event or anything like that. Is that something you're also looking into as far as having like events in the future where if you are a holder or with the currency, like you can get yourself into these tournaments? Is that something you're looking into it down the road?
Yeah, so we have our Odin Social Club now. It's predominantly in California, NorCal, and SoCal, and we have basically these tournaments, meetups where people come together, and then it's a way to kind of cultivate the community, to meet each other, and it's like what a league would do, and just under the clothing of a social club. So the plan is to kind of expand that into other geographies and do really cool partnering events like with you guys. Like we'll go out to Arizona and do a Save Park collab, or in Florida, for example. So I think like we definitely want to expand that. Obviously the US is a big market and there's so many different golf hubs. So yeah, that's kind of the plan there. And then, weaving in the kind of the digital experience as well, in those different events and stuff.
I think we definitely need to have a co-event down the road for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would
be
for sure. I think
that would be epic.
That'd be sweet.
So you're out in Germany right now. Are you, I know like with the travel restrictions, is that an issue? Do you bounce back and forth at all? Or are you coming to the States anytime soon, or what's your kind of your future right now for traveling to the States?
I bounce back and forth. We actually do have part of our team over in the US and California and Texas. So we definitely kind of go back and forth. I'm heading back in a couple of weeks. Actually, we have a new ball coming in, so I need to go check that out and oversee it. And we're probably going to be hosting some events in California as well. So it's really. We do all kind of the design and engineering in Berlin with the rest of the team. And then a lot of the kind of the community in-person stuff is when I go over to the US. I'm going to go back, and my family's obviously still over there. So I do some family stuff in tandem.
Sure. I think we might've talked about this in the beginning, but so it's four founding members of ODIN, correct? You said there's 4 of you?
Yeah, there's 4 of us, myself, Phil, Christoph, and James.
So you guys, I know you're all like kind of in tech. Did you guys meet working together at a previous job, or did you guys just like meet up on a golf course and end up started talking and brainstorming ideas, or how did that actually come about? Because I feel like we might have talked about that briefly in the first episode, but just to kind of get a quick little, update on that, because I don't really recall.
I don't
know. We may have touched on it. So basically, Berlin is kind of a blossoming tech scene in Europe, and quite exciting in many ways. So I used to work with James at a company called Delivery Hero, which is basically like DoorDash, but everywhere else in the world except the US. So we worked together there. And James worked with Christoph at a previous company, and Christoph and Phil are from Heidelberg. They're childhood best friends. So I kind of met them through James, and then I happened to see like, hey, they're also golf nuts, and Christoph, and so James is from the UK, and Christoph and Phil are from Germany. Christoph lived in the US, like went to Duke Business School, lived in California a bunch, and Phil's lived abroad, Australia, also spent some time in the US. So like very like also golf nuts and very well traveled and been around and stuff. So we kind of vibe like very quickly through the shared love of golf, of course. And we just kind of came together, and it's been fun, really exciting. I will say building a business is incredibly hard. So the good news is we've kind of done this before. So we have some arrows on our backs and have been hit in the face a bunch of times. So,
Well, I was going to say, I mean, planning a tournament, I'm trying to say it's how tough and stressful it is.
Well, it is.
I know,
don't sell yourself short there.
Right,
That's for sure. I'm getting cold sweats thinking about what the tissue paper should be in the goodie bag, or
right.
Are we doing tissue paper?
Well, now we're thinking about it.
Are we?
Now we might. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Or like what should be in the breakfast burritos.
Exactly. Yeah. What kind of drinks are we going for first?
That's right. Actually, what's the
type of food?
Speaking of grub, what's your guys' move for? Well, first off, course grub, and then more specifically the breakfast burrito. What's kind of the Minnesota go-to salsa in, salsa out? Hash browns, like what? Give me the scoop.
That's a good question. So for me, if I'm on the, we're talking straight on the course for a breakfast burrito. I'm your standard scrambled eggs, some breakfast potato or hash browns and bacon, and then I will normally I normally like to dip it into the salsa. I'm normally
you know what's underrated for morning golf?
What's that?
Taco Bell has a crunch wrap. Listen, don't laugh at me.
I've been forever.
Listen, I was there the other night.
I love where this is going.
Yeah. So they have breakfast, right? And their crunch wrap has like the hash brown patty, the eggs, the bacon, and it has like taco sauce.
Ooh, yeah.
And then they wrap it up like a crunch wrap, and you just eat it in your hand, no mess, no nothing.
See, the key is so Jordan, you might know this, but whenever you're eating food, especially like that, you always, if you're a right-handed golfer with the left glove, you always take that glove off.
Right.
And you eat it because you don't want to grease up your other hand. And then obviously you don't want to grease up that glove. So that's the first key. And I think so many people it's an underrated tip because there's so many people asking the course that they're grabbing food and it's a greasy food and they're using their glove. And I'm just like, that's such a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even really eat.
That's right.
Well, I'm a kind of like snack wise.
Mm-hmm.
I love the peanut M&Ms. That's like my snack on the 9, like at the turn, and then I'll normally follow that up with. We normally we'll eat afterwards. So like I said, get a granola bar or this guy's always comes prepared with. Like he's like
working in the running industry is super fun because it gives me access to all these little like energy snacks.
Yeah, if you're feeling low on sugar, the guy's got like a knapsack full of freaking goodies.
So yeah, like good. my go-to is I'll bring them. I like the Honey Stinger chews.
They're
really honey based, so it's pretty organic, and then there's all sorts of like natural sugars and stuff to kind of power you through. Especially since I'm not a morning person in any sense of the word. So like morning golf for me kind of sucks. So I need some kind of pick me up. So I'll do that. But yeah, no, those are pretty nice.
You normally got to do at least 1 or 2 hot dogs at the turn. That is.
Oh yeah. That's some swing. Yeah. That's meat. Any encased meat in tube form is very good swing fuel.
Exactly.
Actually, speaking of grub, the Wilderness, one of the courses up north, you can order from them and then they'll find you and then deliver it to you from the restaurant. So it's like, and then the first time I played, I split like a turkey club.
Yes.
Oh yeah. That
was good. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll sometimes I've been a course where you order on the 7th or 8th hole and then they'll you pick it up.
You can order it anytime. You can just order it and they'll because your card is GPS, so they know where you are. Sure. You just tell them, hey, I'm right here. They'll track you and then they deliver it. Oh, it's good.
Jordan, what's your go-to for breakfast? Because I love breakfast burritos, but most of the course that we play don't really, I don't want to say they don't offer it. They do, but I'm normally eating like a granola bar off the bat and saving it for the hot dogs to turn.
Yeah. I was just thinking about what you mentioned, the tip with the hand, keeping it kind of pristine. The other thing is like the sunscreen, like you got to wash your hands before, like you lather up and then you got to wash your hands. And like, I always think of, who I always think of, it's kind of a very vivid, specific example. Do you remember when Nomar Garciaparra was playing, how he would step out of the box and do his double extra tightening the gloves? He's not the only one, but he had that specific move where he would tighten up the gloves and make sure like the hands were pristine. So it's like really akin to that. It's like making sure the glove is tight, the grip. And then, you're not lathered up with sunscreen or salsa or grease that's dripping down from, the grilled cheese or the burger.
Although you do have an excuse if you do shank it driver after that, you can blame it on that. So there is that excuse, I guess you can use that. But
yeah, that's always good to have that in the chamber for sure. So yeah, breakfast burritos for sure. And I usually tell them to put the salsa inside, so it could it's an all-in-one. Sometimes the salsa is not great, depending on the place. Typical run-of-the-mill scrambled eggs, hash browns, some bacon, sometimes some sausage, but depending on, sometimes it's a little too much to have all that in there. But and then obviously the hot dog. The other thing that's also really great, that's easy to kind of put down, go hit a shot, is a Caesar.
Oh yes,
having that's also a really good move. And
I just started liking salads not too long ago, but I'm kind of I don't like dressing, so I'm weird. I'll order like a Caesar salad, but I'll get it without the Caesar dressing, and I basically just do fresh squeezed lemon on it.
Do you want me to wreck Caesar salad?
Oh, that's great.
No, but I'm,
because do you know what's in the dressing?
No, I don't really care because I don't like it.
Oh, what?
I don't eat it. That's what I'm saying. But I'm kind of high maintenance when it comes to that. But now I like salad. But it's I don't know if they have those options at this golf course. So I'm like, hey, can I get this, but without that, and get this?
Yeah.
And at that point, it's I kind of they're probably just so I like salad, but I'm picky with my dressing. So I normally go straight but lemon. But Bobby Fairways, we had him on the podcast a long time ago, and he's always posting.
He's always
he's a big food guy. Yeah,
he always has a salad. Always has like a pulled pork.
And I've never even actually seen anybody have a salad on a turn.
Well, I normally don't even stop at the turn.
Well, that's because we can't load up sometimes beforehand. So
I know we're going to eat after.
Yeah, exactly. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had
that's all
my
good.
little 2 cents in on the salad.
So let's squeeze lemon. Fascinating. What's if you're making it at home, what's your move?
So normally if I'm going to make my own salad, I'll normally go with the romaine lettuce, grilled chicken breast, little croutons, lime, and then I also my wife makes a really good hot salsa. It's very good. So I'll almost throw that in there and then put a little bit so it's kind of it's like a salsa verde, but it's like a hot salsa verde. So if it's homemade, I go that route. I like spicy. So
right. We used to talk about salads.
Yeah.
You put salsa on your salad?
Sometimes if my wife is got her homemade salsa made, yes. But otherwise,
is it chunky or is it liquidy?
It's liquidy. It's like a cream.
Okay, gotcha.
Style, so it's not chunky. Yeah. So it doesn't look weird on a salad. But if I'm gonna go out to eat, I normally go with a grilled chicken breast, the lettuce. They'll normally put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it, and then and then they'll sprinkle the lime juice on it. But I've gotten better. My food palate has expanded since I've met my wife. She's Hispanic, and so she's always got me going with all these crazy good Mexican food restaurants, which I absolutely love. But so my food palate has definitely grown.
These things.
But dressings and sauces, I'm really weird on. I don't know what it is, but. So I'm pretty plain on the salad thing, and I'm not a big tomato guy. I'll do spaghetti, tomato sauce I'm fine with, but I just don't like the texture of an actual tomato. So I won't rock those in my salad either. So,
well, you've skipped the pleasantries and gone straight to salsa on your salad. So I like that.
It's but not all the time. But I said I'm kind of spoiled with that kind of thing. So it's if I always have to put just even with with the breakfast food or the burrito. The only reason why I go out is if I don't know what their salsa is, then I can dip it because I can eat it without salsa. But if I know what place it is that I like their hot salsa, then of course I'll have it inside. But if I'm going to a course I never played, just to be safe, better safe than sorry. Put it on.
So do you keep a bottle of your wife's salsa and then bring it on the course and do that move? Or
Yeah, I bought this belt that has got like six different six different condiments on there.
It's like the beer helmet, but for salsa on the belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what flavor are you looking for today? And that's actually a good idea.
An underrated option for breakfast burritos is like a queso. Because I don't always want like a salsa, but sometimes I just want to load up on cheese to start my day.
Queso cheese.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jordan, we definitely need to get out and swing the sticks though sometime, whether it's this year. I don't know if it'll be this year, but for sure we should definitely down the road. Maybe next year we can organize an event next year. I think that would be a blast. I think we should absolutely do that. We always have fun jamming with you. Yeah, we have a blast jamming with you on the podcast, and I feel like we would just have an absolute great time on the course.
Oh yeah, definitely. What's so other than the epic Dom's cabin, playing the wilderness course, do you guys, for you specifically, personally, do you have a kind of a bucket list of courses that you guys want to go play at and do a trip at, whether it's like Bandon or Kiowa or Torrey Pines, anything like that?
We kind of talked about it with Mulligans and Hackers a couple episodes back.
Oh yeah.
We're just making callbacks all episode.
Yeah.
My bucket list is Banff. That's to me one of like the greatest courses I've ever seen pictures of, because I'm not a big links guy unless it's like a
links guy. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like I'll play links like if it's important to golf. You know what I mean? Like St. Andrews, stuff like that. But if I can go hit a tree, I'd rather hit a tree and kind of have the luck of it maybe bouncing back. I like nature. I don't know. I don't like cutting down trees. So that's mine. Banff to me is super cool. It's only like 12 hours away if you want to drive.
I think a bucket list course, or actually trip, would be obviously Bandon, but Bandon bought another piece of property now. It's open, a Sand Valley Resort in Wisconsin. So it's right in our backyard.
Oh, nice. Okay. I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah.
You should check it out. It's called Sand Valley Resort.
Sand Valley. Okay. I will. Yeah.
I believe they just opened up another course, or they are opening up another course. So it's, I could be wrong, but I believe it's 2 or 3 18-hole courses, and then they have a par 3 course. But it's like right in the middle of Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, we're not big Wisconsin fans of anything, but they do have probably some of the best golf.
They have good cheese. I like cheese. Cheese. They have good cheese.
but they do. Yeah. I mean, obviously they have whistling. They have whistling straights.
Right. Sure.
I can go on and on. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're not, as far as like sports wise, that's why we say we don't really care for Wisconsin. Yeah. And I've also had some bad experiences there at playing golf there. But as far as like courses though, they have phenomenal courses. So I would say that's a more doable trip, just because it's not too far away. But it is one of those where I believe it's like booked out for like 2 or 3 years. It's a very like exclusive type of deal, which is kind of like Bandon. But I would say Bandon would be up there. Pebble Beach, of course.
I'd like to play Spyglass too.
Yes, that would be awesome. How about yourself? What's kind of your bucket list courses?
It definitely. I still living here almost 10 years, haven't been to St. Andrews or done kind of the Scotland, circuit. Definitely Bandon's on the list for sure. I grew up near kind of Pebble Beach and those courses. So I kind of feel a little bit spoiled that everyone kind of goes there for a destination, but I kind of want to, explore elsewhere. I mean, they're obviously amazing courses and such. So yeah, definitely those. And then for sure, like Torrey Pines would be cool. So yeah, it's Sage Valley. I
missed out on playing at Torrey Pines. I actually went out there when I like several years ago. My cousin and I, and he's not a big golfer, but we stayed like right near that area, and we were going to play it, but I was like, for him to, cause you have to get out there really early to even get out there. And it's like, I felt terrible to have somebody that's not really going to appreciate the experience. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to have him sit and wait in line with me for could be for hours. So
Yeah.
we didn't do that, but it's a beautiful area over there. That would definitely be probably a bucket list course too.
I'd like to play Tiger's course too. Is that Payne
Valley? Yeah, that's in Missouri. That just opened up. We were talking to Luke at Leaderboard Customs, and because
cool, nice.
Yeah, he's not too far from there. So unfortunately, he's actually going to be one of our sponsors too for the tournament. And
sick.
So he's doing a custom pair of golf shoes for it's a Nike Roshi golf shoes, custom whatever the winner wants for close to the pin. So he's not able to make it, unfortunately, but we've talked about potentially doing like a trip out to Paynes Valley, which is in Branson, Missouri, I believe is where that's at, but it looks really cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But no, I think, I know we both, obviously, as you guys and us, we have a lot going on our plate, but I think it would be such a good idea too. I think we have a pretty good relationship with our followers, and I think that would be very cool. I've always talked about maybe doing even like a meetup, like a yearly or an annual meetup where each year you do maybe a different course and you just get people from all the backgrounds. And I think that would just be an absolute blast for like a weekend or a 2-day trip or something like that. So totally. We talk about almost every episode. It's amazing. The friendships, like you, for example, I mean, we haven't physically met, but the conversations and just the community and the support, it's awesome. That's why we love doing what we do. Again, this isn't our full-time gig, which I think down the road certainly could be, but it's definitely our my baby as far as Save Par Golf. Dom with the podcast, we're both in it together, and it's just so cool to see and meet new people that are from all over the world. Like I said, we're talking right now to you in Berlin, Germany, or is it Berlin, Germany? Is that where you are now?
Yeah, Berlin. Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's kind of surreal. It's very cool, and Dom's so excited about golfing right now. He's actually holding a wedge right now.
Well, I have ADD, so I have to do stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and bounce.
Yeah,
and the whole thing's going to rock.
I was waiting for you to get up and take some swings.
I know.
If I don't have something in my hands or like doing something, I get kind of antsy. I've been that way with like school and stuff too. But yeah, no, I'm excited whenever it gets warm. To play golf. But no, it's super cool being able to talk to everybody, not even just like the guests we've had, because obviously I love everybody who's been on, but even just the people who, reach out via email or, just saying, hey, I'm a big fan of yours, thanks for just talking. And it's kind of wild that people like listen to us just talk. Has that hit you yet? Yeah, no, and I've actually had several DMs too, like, hey, great episode and things like that's like it means a lot, because it is a lot of work to, we kind of made it as we wanted to put out an episode once a week, and pretty much since January we've almost done that, and that's time committed on his side for getting everything, bringing it here, our side to prep and just things like that. That's just one day a week, but you're still putting time into it leading up to that day. So there's a lot that goes into it, and I know we're still small, so to speak, on the podcast side, but we've really trying to get different angles of the golf itself. We had the Ryan with All Access. We've had Snappy Gilmore on. We've had so Amber and Janelle. I mean, getting their side with women who play golf. Because I always feel like it's amazing. Always like, oh yeah, you and your boys get together. I'm like, well, why can't the girls get together, where all those memes? You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
definitely.
Like everybody's story is so unique and so different to the game of golf. And I think that's what makes golf interesting. You talk about Nomar kind of brought me back to like my younger days, because I grew up being a huge Nomar Garciaparra fan.
Awesome. Are you? I love the name too. It's got to be one of the best names in baseball. Nomar.
Oh man.
Yeah, watching him do his double
the glove,
toe taps.
Yep, that was him.
It take like 12, 14 seconds, like after every pitch.
Yeah, that was his thing, and unfortunately, injuries kind of derailed his career.
He was a good ball player.
Oh, hell of a ball player, but I think that's what makes golf interesting, is everybody has different angles. Whether it's you guys, wanting to make an affordable golf ball that is still good, because there's all those memes about hitting the top flights or the rock flights, whatever. And To me, a golf ball is a golf ball. You know, you're going to hit them the same. You're going to lose them the same. Why not get what you can afford? Well, you guys are putting out a good golf ball that's affordable, that you now have different styles, and whether it's the X1 or the new one. I think there's a third one. I can't remember the name, but
yeah, definitely. A funny story. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're super excited, and yeah, we we're doing this for the everyday golfer for sure. Funny story on Nomar. Christoph probably will be listening to this at some point after copious amounts of wine. He's the only person in history that I know that is a New York sports fan, and he's a Boston sports fan, which
wow, that's rare.
That doesn't.
I don't even know if that exists. The reason I mentioned Nomar is because one of his screen names is Nomar. So he's a Red Sox fan. And he's a New York Jets fan.
Wow.
God help him with the Jets.
I was going to say, what about Boston with the?
Yeah, he can come on at some point, or
we got to have him on and talk about that.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd come on, and specifically, I wanted him. I mean, Odin's exciting, but I wanted him to talk about that specifically. To this day, I can't believe it. How that's even remotely possible with the two biggest rivalry sports cities in history, and how you are on both sides of that. But hey. He's a diehard for both, and him and James are big Tottenham Spurs fans as well. So yeah, it's fascinating. The other thing that I was talking with him, actually, the NFL is gonna, I think, they're gonna start doing games in Germany because they're already doing it in the UK.
Yeah, I've heard something about that.
Yeah, they wanted to expand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I didn't know this, he said that there was a NFL Euro League like in the mid aughts, which I guess they basically they were transplants, like second and third string players from the NFL teams that would come and play here.
That's actually where Adam Vinatieri was kicking.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He was in NFL Europe.
Okay.
And all right. Kind of died, and then he signed with the Patriots, and obviously the rest is history.
Very cool.
He's the only one I know. That is the only one I know to make it out.
Are you the greatest kicker in NFL history?
No, it is. Yeah, he is. I don't know who you would argue with.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe Janikowski for the Raiders.
Legatron.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, Legatron was not Janikowski. That was the guy from the Rams for a while. Zero line, I think.
He's still playing though.
No, yeah, no. I was just saying that. I think that they called him Legatron. I think. Janikowski was like a big dude.
Right.
One of the few that does not look like a kicker, but could play linebacker.
That's right. Built like a brick shit house, as you guys call in the Midwest. Yeah.
But sorry, you can finish your story. But this is why I like in our beginning intro, we always say golf and things, because this is the one cool thing about our podcast that I think is kind of special, is that we really want to get to know the guest, and we want them to, give them information to our listeners, so to speak. But at the same time, we love kind of getting off topic and just talking about other things, because most people that do like golf are into other sports or food, obviously. So
if I had to listen to us only talk about golf for an hour every Wednesday, I would be so upset. Like, I hate to say it.
Something else, I hear you. So that's what, we like that. We like those other different stories that are, we both know Nomar Garciaparra. It's relatable. So
God, I had a book and he was in it. I love that book. I love Nomar Garcia.
It's weird that you brought him up, because so in my office at work.
Do you have a picture of Nomar?
No, even better. This is actually kind of also weird. So my favorite player growing up was Derek Jeter, and I'm not like a huge Yankees fan. So I'm not but he's just always was one of my favorite players.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that when I was a kid, I had gotten like a bunch of those like McFarlane like figurines.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're at my grandma's house not too long ago, and I was cleaning out a big bucket full of different what would you call them? Figurines, right?
Right.
I know what you're talking about. I thought about like boxes.
So these aren't they're not bobbleheads.
No, they're not bobbleheads. They're like actually like a figurine. They're probably like 8 or 10 inches tall.
Okay.
Still in the box. I had a Derek Jeter one, which is in my office.
Sweet.
and I have a Nomar Garciaparra one also in my box.
Sick.
I have Boston and New York right in the. I have customers coming all the time like, you're a Boston and a Red. Well, how does this right? I'm like, no, I'm actually not a fan. I had like, because there's like in each like category there would be like 3 or 4 that you could collect. So I was like collecting those. But so like I have some Michael Jordan. MJ's my guy for basketball. So like, and I have like a LaDainian Tomlinson.
Sick.
It's weird. I have all these random ones from when I was a kid. But it's funny you brought up the Nomar Garciaparra.
Oh yeah, that's
and sweet. They're both next to each other.
Actually,
that's a hoot. Yeah.
On our Christmas tree, I'm not a Yankees fan either. We have an A-Rod ornament of him playing third. Why?
Oh yeah,
I don't know, but he's there every year.
Now he's the owner of our Timberwolves. our Timberwolves, man, they're turning around. They're turning around. They are.
For sure.
Let's just hope they stay here. They're supposed to, but you never know. But they're in the right future right now. I think they're they're heading in the right direction, which is rare for Minnesota sports fans because we have the Wild that are good, and obviously the Vikings, but we haven't had a championship since the Minnesota Lynx
and the Twins.
The Twins, Dom's a big Twins guy. I mean, I like
Twins. Love the Twins.
The stadium is right down the road from here, so we can see.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so it's a good time. If you're ever out here, probably not going to be in Minneapolis, but if you ever, it's actually a really beautiful city. Not a very big city. It's not huge by any means. It's not small.
Yeah, it's not small, but it's not like you go to like Atlanta or Houston.
Yeah, it's not a very big city, not teeny, but there's a lot of cool breweries, restaurants.
We got the Twins.
Yeah, so the Twin Stadium.
Twins.
It's right down the
sick.
Street, so
I have season tickets. We can all go.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay. Yeah. I definitely want to come visit you guys, not only to hit the sticks, but kind of explore. And I feel bad, like living here. It's always kind of like you take it for granted in a lot of ways where you live and grow up in. And I get this a lot, like, I get a couple of things which are kind of funny. The one thing that I always find is funny is people will say like, I'm visiting San Diego. Like that's really close to San Francisco. Right. And I have to explain like, it's not unlike Europe. It's the geography, or like, hey, I'm going to visit New York. Like I can just pop over to Miami. Right. I'm like, you may have to hop on a flight, but you could drive, of course. But so that's one thing that I always get. It's kind of funny. And the other thing is, I'll like meet a bunch of people that will travel to places, the Midwest or, the South or Northwest or Northeast. And Minnesota's come up a bunch of times. I think there's a lot of Germans in Minnesota and Wisconsin that have settled there over the many years. So I know a lot of people here that have like family in the Midwest. So anyways, like they always say, I visited all these places, and I'm just like, shit, I need to get out more.
You gotta get out and come visit us.
I know, totally. So we'll make that happen. Not only to the tournaments, but for sure to visit. Maybe I can convince the rest of the ODINites to join.
The ODINites.
I like it. Jordan, thanks so much for taking the time again. I mean, so I think this is episode. We haven't had anyone on for a third time yet, but we're definitely going to have you on for a third time. Like you said, we'll have.
We've done enough episodes.
We're at times. What 33? I just said 33.
33.
Yeah.
33. Yeah, so, we'll have Christoph come on and defend his sports choices. I love it. And he can give. Because I know the first episode we talked about golfing in Germany and in Europe in general is unique in its own way. So he can kind of get his perspective growing up here and growing up and playing baseball, one thing, which is a fascinating backstory he can give, and then also golf here and from a German perspective. So yeah, we'll make it happen for sure. But just want to say thank you for all the help and support. We're excited to have you guys as an NFT launch partner and have you guys in the mix grow with us and be a part of ODIN. And we're excited to be a part of, State Par as well, and more fun stuff to come for sure.
Absolutely. No, we're super excited. Actually, it's my first NFT too. So that's even
sick. Well, what a way to do it. Yeah,
exactly. That's how I had to kick it off with a banger with the ODIN crew. So
hell yeah.
I'm pumped. Dom's obviously pumped. It's funny, Dom. I would explain NFT and he'd have a headache, and now he has 7 of them and I have 1. So
yeah, I don't even know how I got so many. It's like because I bought one to kind of try it out, right? Because I didn't want to go into this thing blind and be like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing, which I still don't have any idea what I'm doing, but I'm here. And then I pointed out to my buddy Danny, actually, I'm like, hey, I have all these ones that are hidden. And he goes, yeah, I mean, somebody like gifted them to you. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So now I have like 7, and the whole thing is wild.
It really is. So
she's FOMO again. It's this NFT FOMO.
I know, man. As soon as you mention NFT, she's ready to boogie. Yeah.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, like the crypto Web3 community, like this is like retail therapy for them. They're buying one, they're like on Amazon, like, yeah, I want to get an air filter. I want to get a vacuum. Yeah. Like this book, I wanted to read this. Like, it's like that. It's akin to that on an OpenSea. And it seems like Danny, your buddy's kind of into this world a little bit too, right?
He's much more in depth with it. He's tried to explain it to me a few times, and it's kind of been like too much for me because he's not very intricate in how he likes to explain things. I can say that because I've known him forever. He also doesn't listen to this religiously, so it's okay. Yeah, no, he's like explaining different parts of it to me, how like web chains work, different types of crypto and like the gas fees and stuff. To me, it's just like there's so much of it.
Yeah.
And obviously it's something that can't just be explained. You kind of just have to learn about it, by doing it. Kind of why it was like, well, if I'm gonna get one, might as well try buying one to see how it works. So I bought one for like $2. So that's pretty neat.
He made $8.
Yeah.
Not yet. Hey, you don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, we appreciate it. And again, we'll definitely have you on for a third time, and we'll have some of the other crew on. And again, hopefully it'll be either right before the tournament or maybe after the tournament. We can kind of go over that. And like I said, I know we had talked to, and we can talk more about it afterwards, but as far as we love to get some golf balls out there to some of the, maybe
definitely
some like in our little gift bags. So
yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Let's for sure open up the dart factory.
Sweet. Sounds good. Jordan, it's always a pleasure, man. You're awesome. We love chatting with you. So appreciate your time.
Same here, guys. Fun jamming and shooting the shit. And excited to, kind of build this out. And I'm also like famished now thinking about breakfast burritos. So that it's 10:30 at night. I'm gonna have to do something about that maybe tomorrow. But the other thing here is obviously breakfast is different. They eat like lunch meat here for breakfast essentially, and like pastries and jams and spreads. Like we would do some of that too, but it's fascinating, like going through breakfast burrito withdrawals or like pancakes. I mean, you can get them here, not breakfast burritos, but like pancakes and French toast and crepes and all that stuff. But like nothing like a good just booze mop after a night of cold hats, just on the first tee, just need some fuel kind of deal. That doesn't exist here. Maybe that's the next thing we want to pioneer. Who knows? But
there you go. Starting to pioneer the breakfast burrito out on the golf course in Germany.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
I've never met anyone that doesn't like a breakfast burrito.
No, yeah,
I don't care how picky you are, right? Like I'm picky. I've never heard. I mean, you can literally put whatever you want on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
I think you're in the right direction.
Yeah, and the other thing that I took away from this conversation that's incredibly compelling is maybe a side business of this salsa that your wife made.
There we go.
Yeah,
maybe we could incorporate some sort of cool golf label on it, slap it on there, and have her
save par salsa.
There we go.
Yeah, save. I was gonna say save par sauce.
There we go.
Oh.
I know you can get her somehow incorporated into the business. So
we get bottling involved. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily spin that out, label it. I love that. Yeah,
that's a good idea. We'll make sure that we'll include you in part of the royalties if that ever does come to fruition.
Well, I would not even the royalties. I'd be a guinea pig. Just you know, if you want to workshop, you know, if she wants to kind of, you know, air freight some over here, or you know, or something, that'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we'd love it. That was actually Dom's like, I don't really want anything for Christmas, but just have your wife make just get me some hot sauce.
I didn't
get some hot salsa.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get any.
Yeah, she didn't. Yeah, we're gonna get you some. Don't worry. Speak of the devil.
Well, there's a huge.
She heard us talking.
Yeah, well, there's a huge market for it, but it's almost, again, it's like, Derek, it's like your belt. It's the literal toolkit of a golfer. You know, that's just one thing to plug in. It's the hot sauce, it's the tees, it's the balls, it's the, you know, the granola bar, you know, it's the koozie, it's the speaker.
Yeah, you know, that also, like, now my brain is really flowing around with ideas. We could almost, maybe we should talk about stuff off the air, but we should almost come up with like a little, like, cooler bag. But it's
don't say too much.
Yeah, I can't say too much.
Don't say.
Well, you can edit this out in post. Yeah, you know.
Exactly.
That's so much work that I'll have to do, though, because then it's like we haven't even said goodbye yet. This is the most Minnesotan goodbye.
I know. We'll say bye 8 times, and then but almost like you know how like they have like the golf glove bags, just like clip it around a golf bag, because the cooler bag in the golf
like
bag,
a valuables pouch.
Yeah. But you could actually have one where, like, on part of it, it's literally like insulated where it's cool and that. So you could literally put your
beer,
salsa, even a beer if you wanted to, but all your condiments, whatever you want, bam, hook it right on your golf bag.
Well, if you guys want to collab on that, that sounds sick.
That would be sick. I'll talk to the wife too. She probably, I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot of pressure, but we'll try to get you some out there though and see how you like it. So do you make your own breakfast burritos at your place then? Because you can't really get them anywhere? Or
yeah, well, I have a couple times. The other limitation is the tortillas here are not like what we would be used to in the US, and then obviously, you know, California specifically, or other places that, like, you know, homemade tortillas. I could probably maybe spend some out here, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I view that as like a treat whenever I go home, kind of deal. I don't want to spoil it and, ruin the fun over here. So
the tortillas are key too, because you can have a bad breakfast burrito depending on that tortilla. The tortilla makes a big difference.
It's definitely the centerpiece. The other thing, the separate food like barbecue, and you can get it here. It's in Mexican food as well. It's get the job done.
Sure.
It fill in the blank of the food.
It's not like this amazing place where you're like, hey, you have to go here and try this Mexican food. It's just it's Mexican food.
Yeah, it's very hard. Like, it would be like you going to Taco Bell and having the hot sauce and be like, yeah, my wife makes amazing hot sauce here. Like, I know the hot sauce and the packets are good, compelling in their own way.
Sure.
But it's just, it hits different at home. Absolutely. Like that lemon on the salad, on the Caesar, it's just, there's nothing like it.
See, so Jordan gets it. He doesn't shame me for putting lemon on my salad.
Just put Caesar dressing on your Caesar salad.
No, I don't like dressing. I don't see, because I
do you like ranch?
No, I hate ranch.
Because we're in the land of ranch.
I hate ranch. I don't like the smell. If I don't like the smell of it, I'm not gonna like it.
Do you like the seasoning?
Ranch seasoning?
Yeah.
Like ranch chips?
No, like ranch season. Like you can put it on stuff like burgers.
I guess
it's pretty good because it's kind of tangy.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but I don't like ranch dressing. No, I'm not a dressing fan, to be honest. So.
The other thing,
Jordan, I grew up like that all my life. Everyone's like giving me crap for being picky. I'm like, hey, I don't.
Hey, man,
I don't want to be picky.
Yeah, you do your jam.
Yeah, do what works best. That's my spread. You leave it alone.
Do what works best. I was just thinking, dressing wise, the Italians are very simple and kind of their pasta dishes, not a lot of frills, simple ingredients, fresh ingredients. The other thing, I don't know if this is in your wheelhouse, if this is too much of a dressing, but one thing that is super tasty and good, you put a little bit of salt on romaine. I just did this a little bit of salt on the romaine, let it kind of soak and then soak the leaves in olive oil.
Ooh.
And then so you get the salt, kind of olive oil, and then a little bit of balsamic, kind of a thicker kind of balsamic
vinaigrette,
like you would put on like cheese almost, like on the Parmesan cheese. If you ever see that, like a little bit of that to give it some tang. That is light, because I understand the ranch or the Caesar, they're very thick, like heavily dressed leaves. This one might be in your wheelhouse. It's we're trying. Maybe you could talk with your wife and spin something out, and you guys can try it.
I will. I'll have to try that.
That came to mind. It's like an in-betweener from the lemon squeeze from the Newman's Own ranch.
Yep.
That's like burger sauce in a bottle, kind of very thick. Sure. So
that's a good idea. I never thought of that. I'll have to give that a whirl. I'll certainly try that, because I'm not like that thick. Like, and then the other thing too is, like, if a salad is typically meant to be semi-healthy, right? Once you throw in all that ranch and all that other dressing, then it's kind of like, at that point, I might as well get like a burger.
Yeah, your calorie counting there. Yeah, or go to Dairy Queen and get a milkshake or whatever. Exactly. Yeah. The other thing that you could do, I know you don't like the texture of tomatoes. You could also put some salt on the tomatoes. That also kind of brings the flavor profile out. That's a little trick,
sure.
But definitely try that on the salad. A little bit of salt, I mean, maybe Save Par Food Pod is an offshoot that you guys do.
We have to block out some time for talking about the food. That's for sure.
Oh, God. Yeah, I definitely sign up for that.
Jordan, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
I'll shoot you a DM, or I'll put it on the next episode if I get a chance, because I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it's light, but also and all healthy too, like olive oil, like healthy fats.
Sure.
And then the balsamic, very, very kind of simple. Give it some tang. It's a good juxtaposition with the flavor profile. Gets what you need. You get the leaves, keep the calorie count down, get some healthy fats, but also some flavoring that's not overpowering. So
awesome. No, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. I said you have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll be talking soon.
Yeah, you guys too. Excited to send the episode out, and I know everyone's been chomping at the bit to listen to us for an hour and a half. So
heck yeah. Best episode yet. Probably the longest episode.
No.
Oh, okay, no. We're almost there.
We had that one on the leaderboard that was like an hour and 40.
What are we at right now? Oh, pretty close.
Pretty close.
So, well, again, thanks a lot, Jordan. I said we'll talk soon. All right, bud.
All right, guys, take care, and excited for the tournament in June. Should be fun.
We're excited for the NFTs. We're excited for the whole new project. So appreciate it.
Here we go. Let's do it.
All right, take care.
Take care, guys. Have a good one. Thanks again.
You too.
Later. See ya.